My beloved child, listen closely, for I have come not to condemn you, but to awaken the light that already lives within you, a light that the world did not give you, and the world cannot take away, a light that was placed in your soul before you took your very first breath. For I formed you in secret and called you by name before the foundations of the earth were laid. And even now, as you hear these words, I stand before the door of your heart and knock, asking not for riches or glory, but only for your trust, for your love, for your willingness to take my hand and walk with me along the narrow way that leads to life. And I tell you truly, though storms may rise and though darkness may press against you, you are not abandoned, you are not forgotten, for I have written your name upon my palm, and I have carried your pain upon my shoulders, and every tear that has fallen from your eyes I have seen, and I have gathered, and every cry of your heart has reached my ears, even when you thought no one was listening. For I am nearer to you than your breath. I am the still, small voice that whispers hope in the silence. I am the strength that steadies you when you stumble. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find you when you wander. And I am the friend who will never forsake you, no matter how far you think you have strayed. And so I say to you now, rise, beloved. Rise from the dust of despair. Rise from the weight of shame. Rise from the chains of fear that have held you captive. For the world may have told you that you're not enough, that you're unworthy, that your mistakes define you. But I tell you that you are chosen. You are precious. You are the joy set before me, and my sacrifice was not in vain. For it was for you that I laid down my life. For it was your freedom that I purchased with my blood, and no power in heaven or on earth or under the earth can separate you from the love I have poured out upon you. Do not let the lies of the enemy deceive you into believing that you are alone, for you are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, angels rejoicing when you stand, the Father himself delighting over you with singing, and my Spirit within you, breathing life where once there was only emptiness, igniting a fire that cannot be quenched. Yes, the road is narrow, and yes, there will be trials, but hear me clearly. You are never walking it by yourself, for I walk before you to guide you. I walk beside you to strengthen you, and I walk behind you to protect you. And though the valley may be dark, there is a table prepared for you in the presence of your enemies, and your cup will overflow, and surely goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. Child, I see the weariness in your soul, the questions that haunt your nights, the fears that grip your heart, and I speak to them now with authority. Be still, for you are mine, and no one can snatch you out of my hand. Peace I give to you, not as the world gives, but as a river flowing deep and steady, carrying away every burden, lifting every weight. Trust not in your own strength, for it will fail. Trust not in the fleeting promises of the world, for they vanish like smoke. But trust in me, the rock that cannot be moved, the light that cannot be extinguished, the love that never fails. For I tell you, what the enemy meant for harm in your life, my Father is even now turning for your good, and the very scars you carry will one day shine as testimonies of my healing. For nothing in your life has been wasted, not the trials, not the tears, not even the failures, for I redeem all things and make them new. Lift your eyes, beloved. Lift them above the waves of fear, above the noise of doubt, above the shadows of yesterday, and fix them on me, for I am the author and finisher of your faith, and the same power that raised me from the grave is alive in you today. And if death itself could not hold me, then nothing that rises against you can overcome you when you abide in me. I call you to walk not in timidity, but in boldness, not in sorrow, but in joy, not in despair, but in hope. You are the salt of the earth, the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. And your life has purpose far greater than you can yet see. For every step you take in faith resounds in eternity, and every word of love spoken in my name ripples outward beyond what you can measure. The enemy trembles not at your weakness, but at your faith, not at your past, but at your future. And I tell you, if you hold fast to my word and abide in my love, there is no weapon that can prosper against you, and every chain that has bound you will be broken. For whom the Son sets free is free indeed. So hear me, child, do not despise your beginnings. Do not measure your worth by the world's standards, for I did not choose you because of your strength or wisdom or status, but because I love you, and my love is enough to transform you, to raise you, to use you mightily for the kingdom. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, and so too shall I take the places in your life that were cast aside, despised, or broken, and make them foundations for greater things than you imagine. Your story is not over, for I am still writing it. And though chapters may have been filled with pain, the ending is one of glory. For I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And my plans for you are plans of hope, not of harm. Plans to give you a future beyond measure. And now I tell you again, my beloved, do not let your heart be troubled, for you are not walking through this world without guidance. You are not left to figure out life in your own wisdom, for I have given you my Spirit, the Comforter, who will teach you all things and remind you of everything I have spoken. And he is not far away, but within you, breathing truth into your heart, stirring courage in your soul, and whispering direction in the stillness. When you seek me with all your heart, you have cried out, Lord, I am weak. I am tired. I cannot continue. And I answer you now, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore do not despise your frailty, for it is the very place where my glory shines brightest. And when you fall upon your knees, you are lifted higher than you can imagine. For humility is the soil in which I plant greatness. Do not think you have been overlooked, for every prayer you have prayed has been heard, every act of love remembered, every sacrifice treasured in heaven. And though the harvest may tarry, it shall surely come, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For the Father is faithful, and his timing is perfect. Yes, I see the struggles you face each day, the distractions that pull your attention, the temptations that seek to entangle you, the voices of doubt that whisper in your ear. And I speak to those battles now. You are not defeated, for I have already overcome the world, and in me, you are more than a conqueror. The victory you long for is not won by striving in your own effort, but by resting in my finished work. For on the cross I declared, "It is finished." And with those words, the chains of sin were shattered, the sting of death removed, and the gates of hope flung wide open. Do not return to the prison from which you have been freed, but walk boldly in the liberty I purchased for you, and let your life be a living testimony to the goodness of God. For people will see your transformation and know that it is not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit. You may feel ordinary, but I have placed extraordinary within you. You may feel small, but I have placed eternity in your heart. You may feel unseen, but I call you chosen, and I appoint you to bear fruit that will last. Beloved, open your eyes to the fields around you, for they are ripe for harvest. Lift your voice in kindness. Extend your hands in compassion, and let your steps be guided by love. For the world is in darkness and hungers for light, and you are the lamp I have set upon a stand. Do not say, "Who am I that I could make a difference?" For I tell you that even a cup of cold water given in my name carries eternal weight, and a single seed of faith planted in good soil can grow into a tree of life. And a single seed of faith planted in good soil can grow into a tree of life whose branches shelter many. The enemy will try to silence you, to convince you that your voice does not matter, that your light is too small to shine in such a vast night. But I tell you, even the smallest flame can drive back great darkness, and your obedience in little things is seen by the Father, who will reward openly what is done in secret. Do not measure success by numbers or applause, but by faithfulness. For the kingdom of heaven moves not through the noise of the proud, but through the surrender of the humble. And the least in the eyes of the world are the greatest in mine. Take courage, beloved, for I have not only called you, but equipped you. And every trial you face is shaping you, refining you like gold in the fire, purging away what cannot endure, so that what remains will shine pure and unbreakable. Do not fear the fire, for I walk with you in the midst of it. Do not fear the flood, for the waters shall not overwhelm you. Do not fear the night, for I am the morning star, and soon the dawn shall break. Remember that suffering is but for a moment, compared to the glory that awaits. And even now, through every hardship, I am weaving threads of grace into a tapestry more beautiful than you can yet perceive. One day you will look back and see that nothing was wasted, that every valley prepared you for the mountain, that every trial trained your hands for battle, that every delay was a divine setup for greater blessing, and you will rejoice in how my faithfulness carried you through it all. So now I say, arise and shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Though darkness covers the earth, and thick gloom the peoples, upon you my light appears, and nations shall be drawn to its brightness. This is not the time to shrink back, but to step forward, not the time to hide, but to proclaim, not the time to doubt, but to believe. The enemy knows his time is short, and he seeks to distract, to discourage, to destroy. But greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against you. I am raising you up, not to merely survive, but to thrive, not to merely exist, but to shine, not to merely endure, but to overcome. And as you abide in me, your life will bear fruit that cannot be stolen or spoiled. I do not call you to walk this path alone, for you are part of a body, knit together with brothers and sisters across the earth, each carrying unique gifts, each reflecting my image in different ways. And together, you display the fullness of my love. Do not isolate yourself in fear or pride, but embrace the fellowship I have given. For iron sharpens iron, and where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Encourage one another daily. Build one another up. Speak life and truth. Forgive as you have been forgiven. Love as I have loved you. And in doing so, the world will see that you are truly my disciples. Let your unity be a light that no division can dim. Let your love be a fire that no hatred can quench. And let your faith be a testimony that no persecution can silence. Beloved child, the time is shorter than you realize, and eternity draws near with every heartbeat. Therefore, live not as though this world is your home, but as pilgrims passing through, fixing your eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust cannot destroy, and thieves cannot break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Live each day as though it is a gift, for it is, and make every word and deed count for the kingdom, knowing that one day you will hear those words your soul longs for. Well done, good and faithful servant. Let that promise fuel your steps. Let that hope strengthen your hands. Let that vision carry you when the road feels long, for you do not run in vain, and the crown of life awaits all who endure to the end. So, my child, if these words have stirred your heart, if they have lifted your spirit, if they have spoken life into your soul, I invite you now to remain connected, to keep walking with me day by day, to keep growing in faith, to keep shining brighter with every step. And in this moment, as a sign of your commitment, as a way of spreading this light so others too may be touched, I ask you, like, share, and subscribe, not merely to a channel, but to the message of hope, to the fellowship of faith, to the movement of love that is spreading across the earth. Every time you engage, you are planting a seed. You are extending the reach of the gospel. You are helping others hear the words of life that can change everything. So do not hold back. Join in, stay connected, and let us walk this journey together, for greater things are yet to come, and the best is still ahead.